Okay. So let's get this started here. So I believe we finished off here halfway through the season in the 2028 season. Not having the best go at it. About 500. The record, about 500. Kopak is leading the team in points, which is a little odd. Let's take a look at the lines. So everything looks okay. I think we'll just sim a little bit here to see what happens. We'll get through the first month. See if the team can pick it up. It looks like I made a bunch of changes, so. There's a big win, 7-5. Oh, a 10-2 win over Calgary. Wow. Hopefully that gets something going and they can get on a win streak here. There's a loss. Okay, so we're getting some wins, but we're getting more losses still. Take a look at the strategies. Okay, so Texier is leading the team in points now, which is more normal. So it looks like he's picked it up a little bit. Let's see what the strategies say. What did I have them set to? So forechecks passive at the red line. Standard offense and normal. We might have to do puck side attack defense. So we kind of pressure the player with the puck a little more. defensive strategy. I think that's okay. You don't want to overcommit one way or the other. Penalty kill is okay too. Power play, we might need to do. Maybe we'll just make it simple and make it shooting. Just shoot the puck on net. I think that works. Let me just quickly look at what the lines are again. See what the third line is. I think the third line is... Yeah, okay, so we got Schlappick on the third line. So we'll make it more of a skilled strategy for the third line there. And then the fourth line, we've got more skilled players again, so we might just make it a skilled lineup overall when it comes to the strategies. That might be what's making it difficult. It looks like everyone is playing pretty good in the top 6. I think we might have to change the third line strategies though, because that doesn't seem to be working for these guys. And then the fourth line too. It's because we have more skilled players on the fourth line and the third lines, so we don't need to play that bump and grind type game. See what our defense are doing. So Gerard, he prefers to pinch and shoot. And Cedar likes pinch and balanced. The second unit did pinch, balanced, pinch, shoot. And then the third pairing, pinch, shoot, and pinch, balanced. So it's pretty much an all pinching defense plus balanced is what I'll set them up for on defense. I wish we could kind of see that information while we're in this screen. It would kind of make it a little easier to reference. Okay, so we will go to make it overload for line 3, and then line 4 we will do behind the net, which is a more skilled strategy than crash the net, because you need big strong guys who play a more physical style. Okay, so we'll make them more on the pinch side, and then cycle shoot we'll do in the middle. For pairing 2 we'll do the same thing except just one less, and then the cycle shoot we'll put right in the middle again, just like the other one. And then this one we will put right there, and then the cycle shoot we'll put right in the middle. So I think that, because that's pretty much how the players want to play, even if that's not how the coach wants it to be set up, that's what works for the players. So if you go the way the players want to go, then the players are going to play better. If you kind of meet them in the middle, and it doesn't seem like the coach wants that. But whatever, he can deal with it himself. I'm setting the strategies this way, so. I think that's everything I need to look at. We will continue we'll continue simming this. See what these other teams are up to. All these teams have pretty bad records, just like ours, except for Boston. Maybe we'll play Boston and Buffalo, and nope, Calgary doesn't have that great. So I'll sim to Boston. We'll see how the rest of the games go. Maybe I'll jump in and sim it halfway or something like that. Ooh, 5-0 loss. That's tough. Oh, there's a good win against Anaheim. Alright, let's sim this one. We already got a goal from Morant, our fourth liner. So that looks like that strategy change is working. Alright, let's get through the first here, still tied at 1. Let's get through the second. 3-2 for Boston so far. We'll jump in about halfway through the third here.
The Sabres are up next as the extended run of home cooking is about to come to an end here, Razor.
Yeah, the games all just pile on top of each other, and at the end of the year, of course, you play as many at home as you do on the road.
Couldn't make that one happen. Takes it into the slot. His reflexes on display tonight.
And he came out and challenged him. Good save.
Makes the move in close. Stones him in front. Ukraine's working the transition through the middle of the ice.
Fourth line.
Here he is in front, and that one's broken up. Moves it to DeBrusque. Now a quick pass to Yossi. Boston's got the puck against the boards. Solid check to slow him down. Levels him with the hit. Taken along the wall by DeBrusque. And it's a quick pass to Coyle. Takes the pass. Moves the puck inside the offensive zone.
There we go.
Really good effort here to continue to push along, try and find a way to crack the defense. They've done it, and this game is tied.
Absolutely clutch. And now he angles it across to Athanasiou. Huge play in his own end to come up with the puck.
Oh, stick craters on him. So disappointing.
There's $300 you won't get back.
He's not paying anyway.
On the attack along the boards. Scooped up along the wall by Gerard. Hammers it from the point. Up to the challenge as he gets his pad on it.
Oh, he laid a solid hit on him there. He was waiting for him and laid the shoulder right into him.
That might loosen a few of the chompers on that play. Binnington's going to cover it up. He's been busy tonight, Ray.
And been good. A lot of times you get busy and worn down. I think that's why you jump on it, freeze it in a close game.
Here in the late goings of the period, we got a tie game. Pokes it away to keep the pressure on. From off the boards, he sends it into the open ice. Makes his presence known on the ice. The Nationals have it now. Down the right side and into the zone. That's a textbook save by Binnington. Less than 60 seconds left in regulation. Rocked him in the open ice. And he uses his reach to disrupt the play. Moves the puck along the half wall. That's moved up ahead. Puts it on net. And that's stopped by the goaltender using his head this time. This is a face-off they'll definitely want to win here inside the offensive zone. Center's jammed up and the winger grabs the puck. Boston's looking to break out. Moves the puck. They've got the defense outnumbered. From in close. Comes up with a monster save in front. Fires it into the offensive zone. Pushes it across to Pasternak. Takes the feed. Slides the puck over. Here's a short pass to Pasternak. Denies him in front.
Sometimes you're in close, there's no room to put it anywhere. The goalie smothered it all.
Off to overtime we
Still
go.
nothing solved as the third period comes to an end. We've got overtime looming. A little bonus hockey is coming up, and it's coming up next. And we are just moments away from overtime. All right, listen to this place. The electricity's so thick you could cut it with a knife. Sudden death. Scores! They win it!
Bam. Maurice Sider.
Ukraine's feeling
Franchise defenseman. Alright, that was a big win. Even though I was the one that did it. So let's sim until the start of the All-Star break. I'm gonna have to make changes to the trade block because I keep getting trade offers I don't want. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know why all these guys are on the trading block because I didn't put them there. Oh man, the Capitals 37, 7, and 5. What does their roster look like that's making them that good? Oh man, this team. Frustrating. I think I've built a pretty good team, and they just the chemistry is pretty good, and the players are good. I just don't understand. Let's take a look at Washington's roster to see what they've got, just out of curiosity. Well, they've got Barzal, interesting, and Yamamoto. Somehow Daniel Sprong is 89. over Wallstrom. Jeez. All these guys are in their 30s too, almost all of them. Their defense is kind of slim though. Got 2 former Canucks on their team, which is sad for me. Yeah, see, they're... I don't understand how they're... Somehow they have Pajot, who is a second line forward, and he's scratched. And we don't have injuries on, so he's never gonna play. It's weird. Yeah, let's just sim some more games. Sim right up into the trade deadline. There's a big win. There's a big loss. Sheesh. Overtime loss. There's a win. Alright. Let's put a few wins together here. Oh yeah, okay, 3-game win streak. And a loss. I saw that coming. I don't think this team's been on much of a win streak at all though, so far in the season either, so... Alright, we're the day before the trade deadline. I'm gonna quickly take a look at everything. I don't think I'll be trading anybody. Kopaka's kind of slowed down a bit, and he's considered a third line forward now. So is Rossi for some reason. Not sure why. Oh, whoops. Yeah, our second line, our whole second line, plus one of our wingers on the first line is considered third line players for some reason. Jeez, minus 23. Addison is not having himself much of a year. Like everyone else is kind of in the minuses, but not that far down. Same with Goryev, who's like a rookie, so I can't really blame him. But still. And like their partners aren't that bad. Broberg and Foot aren't that bad. Oh, Alnefelt isn't doing that great, even though he's considered an elite goalie. Jeez. It's Haken who's getting... Oh, he's only got 8 wins. He's not doing that great either. Let's go ahead and scratch Slater. So he hasn't even played any games. So we might... let's see, let's go to defense again. We might switch Addison and Slater for a bit, see how that... Ooh, that doesn't fit very well. Probably because they're both really young, but let's see, one is a defensive, they're both defensive defensemen. Two-way, I think Foot's also a two-way. Defensive, Slater's a defensive. Okay, Gerard's offensive. So Slater prefers to be on the right side, even though he's left-handed. So we'll give that a try. I mean, Addison's still a quality defenseman. I don't know why he's not having that great of a year. Just trying to think here. Let's give that a try. You gotta make some changes if your team's not doing super well. So we'll see if that does anything. I don't really want to trade anybody, so let's just finish off the month. Oh man, it looks like Vancouver might be rebuilding. Just traded Mangiapane and Valimaki for 2 firsts and another player. Same with Florida, they just did the same thing. And Colorado. And Pittsburgh. Bunch of teams just trading players for picks. Hinostroza, is he any good? He's alright. Not super defensively minded. Not much of an upgrade. Not an upgrade at all on any of my players. Still losing games. Let's get through half the way through March, I guess. See if we can put a win streak together. Otherwise, it's basically the end of the season again, or the end of the line. No, we're just putting losses. Yeah, it looks like we're missing the playoffs again. I'm not quite sure what to do now. I think we might have to break some rules here and just stack this team up, but also try and keep as many of the original Misfits as we can. I think what were we? We're almost a decade in, and we still haven't made the playoffs. And the team has developed nicely on a pretty good pace, a realistic pace too. Not every player developed, so we had to let them go, but we kept the rules with keeping with only looking for like misfit type players that maybe wouldn't get a chance, the type of chance that we could give them. And they developed. Some of them did, some of them didn't. And we were able to put a team together, I think the last 4 seasons at least, a team together that should have made the playoffs. So I'm just kind of not sure what else to do here, because this team's gotten worse since the last season. Like, we're not even a bubble team. We're at the bottom of the barrel again. And when I say bubble team, I mean like on the cusp of making the playoffs, but we aren't even there on the cusp of making the playoffs. Like, we're 10 games below 500 if you don't count overtime losses. We're in 6th place, 72 points, and to make the playoffs we would have had to have, let's see. To make the playoffs we would have needed to have 88 points. So we were literally 16 points out of the playoffs, which is not anywhere near being on the cusp. So we're gonna have to upgrade this team without following the rules when it comes to misfit type players. So what we're gonna do is, just so that I'm gonna write down a lot of this stuff so we can go back and look at what players did what. So I'm just gonna quickly go through the rosters and just so I can go back and pause it on the screen and look at the points and all that stuff. So we'll go to Athanasia. This is his first year with the team. First or second? No, this was his second season with us. So his first season was pretty good. His second season was okay, but he had bad plus minus. His shooting percentage wasn't very good. He's 33 now, so he's probably declining anyways. But he had pretty good seasons prior. Actually had his best seasons with us, if you look at it. He had his best ever seasons were with us. So that's pretty cool. We'll go to Texier. He's a lifer. I'm never trading him. He's a lifer with us. All his career, except obviously like before I started. In real life, he played with Columbus for 2 seasons. So, but starting when this game started, he was a lifer. His first ever season with us, 62 points, minus 66. So he's definitely seen the hard times, and he deserves to see the good times. And look at those 85, 85. Like he had big seasons. Like all the seasons were good. 60 plus points is top 6 player material right there, right? So anything better in the 80s for sure. Like that's over point per game, right? So he's a star. He's this team's heart and soul. And he's only 28 still, so he still has lots of time to win something. So he's definitely staying with us. Probably the same thing goes with Athanasio as well. And a lot of these guys in the top 6, they might not be top 6 players though. Gerber, we drafted him in 2021 in the 2nd round. He hasn't quite panned out to be the superstar that he was, like with his elite potential. He's 24 though, so he still has a few years before he's kind of is what he is. But I mean, at 87 overall, you'd expect it to say first line forward on there, and it still says 3rd line scoring forward. So I don't understand that part. He's putting up the points like he's a top 6 forward, just not at the pace you would have hoped. I mean, he's consistent at least. Just not. I was hoping for a 70 plus point type player. Just haven't gotten that yet, which could be due to just teammates and stuff. Maybe it doesn't work fully with Texier, which is fine. You can put him with somebody else, see what happens. Yeah, so he's all definitely a lifer as well. We go to Balsers, who's definitely is also a lifer. He started. He obviously played most of his career with us, but he did start off with Ottawa. And then he was basically a top line forward since the beginning because he started off at 77 overall, and that was the 2nd or 3rd best overall on the team. And then he developed into an 83 overall, if I remember. That was his highest overall. And now I think he's an 82 or 81, but he's had some good seasons, like top 6 forward type seasons. And he definitely went through the hard times and was still putting up points, so. But no, this past year was definitely a drop off, and he is 30 now, so that's kind of expected. Marco Rossi's a budding star. He's 26. 68 points. That might be a career high for him. Actually, yeah, it looks like it is. 1 point career high, but his career high in goals by far, 26 goals. That's a lot for him. His first 2 seasons was split between the AHL and the NHL, mostly. Oh no, his first season was fully with Ukraine, with us, and then the season after that we kind of upgraded the team a bit, and so he played most of the year in the AHL, and then he ripped it up and became a better overall, so I called him up. And then the same thing, I believe the same thing happened the year after, because we upgraded the team a little bit, and then he tore it up in the AHL, and so his overall went up, so we called him up. And then after that year he stayed because he improved enough to stay in the lineup, and then just went up from there. So, and then look at that shooting percentage. Wow, that's high, 17%. Anthony Duclair, 60+ point guy. I think this is his second season with us. Let's see. No, this is his first season with us. I feel like we had him earlier, and then we traded him or something. But I could be wrong. No, we didn't. Okay. So yeah, he played most of his career on other teams around the league. Unfortunately, because he wasn't treated properly. Oh look, he signed in Carolina. In real life, he signed in Florida. So, but he had his breakout season in Ottawa, and then had a decent year in Carolina. Had a bit of a drop off in Nashville. Another drop off in Nashville, and then a big breakout season in LA, and another good season in Pittsburgh. Another breakout season, even more so, in Colorado. And then he played in the AHL for some reason. And then back in the NHL. Oh no, he played 20 games in the AHL and then played the rest of the season in the NHL. But he was a point per game, so I don't know what happened there. And then he played his season with us. We signed him as a free agent. And he had a good 34 goals. That's close to his career high in goals in a season. It's 36 he had with Colorado, and he had 34 with us, so that's good. We'll probably end up keeping him. Kopaka, I believe he's like a second or third year Misfit. So yeah, he's a third year. But he played his first NHL games with us. He was in the AHL in Anaheim before that, so he develops nicely. He's 30 now, but we got him when he was 24 or 25 or something like that. So, oh, he's 24. Yeah, he's had pretty solid seasons with us. He had a bit of a drop off last season, but this past season he picked it up again, but he had more on the assist side than the goal side, which is fine. He's playing in the top 6, and then we moved him down to the third line a little bit, but he still had his point pace still pretty much stayed up there with his other seasons, so that's good. Schlappick, I can't remember if he's an original. He might be a second year. Second year, it looks like. But he was still here for the tough times. With those, when you see those big minuses, those big minus years, those are the tough times. Before we had decent goaltending. But he's still putting up 50+ point seasons, 70 point season, 60 point. It's kind of going downhill. He kind of regressed a little bit early because he's only 30 now, and he started regressing. He started regressing the year before this one, and now he went down to 50 points, and now he's down to 40, although he is on the third line, so 40 points on the third line is pretty good. Just a big minus player, unfortunately. Michael Wolf, 23-year-old, I believe we drafted him, yep, in 2023. It still says he's a depth forward, even though he's got like 88 offensive awareness. And, I mean, his shot isn't great, but he is a playmaker. Let's see his... Okay, so he played in the Dell and then the AHL. So 2 seasons. He needed 2 seasons of seasoning, essentially. And then he came into the NHL with us right away after that. I believe he was on the 4th line the first 2 seasons, and then he moved up to the 3rd line and was still on the 3rd line, but he put up 47 points. Matthew Joseph, I believe we just signed this past off season, so that this is his first year that he played with us. Yeah. He was playing the AHL mostly before that, so it's definitely a misfit material because he got more of a chance in the NHL this year. Played all 82 games on the 4th line. Antoine Morand, I believe he came around the same time as Kopaka because they came together from Anaheim, if I remember correctly. He's a skilled bottom 6 forward, if that makes sense. He was a 3rd liner for a couple years. If you look at his points, I remember he played on the 3rd line because we had Schlappick on the 2nd line. And then Marco Rossi ended up developing, so he moved up to the 2nd line. And Moran just didn't develop anymore, so he kind of stayed as a bottom 6 player. But he had decent seasons when he was on the 3rd line, and now he's still having decent 4th line points wise on the 4th line. His plus minus isn't very good though, so we might have to let him go. Liam Kirk is an interesting one because we brought him in from the start. He's an original. We brought him in and he was like 54 overall or something like that. He played a lot of his time in the AHL, so he played 1 game with us in the NHL in the first season, and then I sent him down to the AHL, and he put in 3 seasons in the AHL, and then he developed into I believe between a 75, 77 overall type of player, and so I had him on the 4th line, and so he's played 3 seasons on the 4th line for us now. And I mean he's pretty much reached his full potential as a 4th line forward, 79 overall, because he started out at like what 21, 22, and was like 50 or 60 overall. And he had the top 9, or I think he started off with top 6 potential, but I mean, when you're that low overall, it's very difficult for you to become a top 6 forward when you're already in your 20s. So I mean, I think he pretty much hit where he was supposed to hit at 79 overall, and he's from Team Britain, so he's definitely a misfit type player that wouldn't have maybe gotten a chance otherwise. He was drafted in the 7th round by Arizona, but 7th rounders usually don't make the NHL, so he definitely got more chance from us than he would have elsewhere. And then on to defense, I believe Broberg is a 2nd or 3rd year with us. as a free agent. He signed with us. Oh, he's a 4th year now. Okay. I believe he's an Edmonton Oilers draft pick. But he obviously never played with the Oilers, so. But yeah, he was drafted. Let's go back and check. Yeah, drafted in the 1st round, 8th overall. A little overrated in the draft, I guess, and just has a top 4 potential, but hasn't really turned into that type of player yet. Just at 26 years old, he's pretty much is what he is at a top 6 D. But he does play up in the lineup for us because he has really good defensive abilities to kind of even out having offensive-minded players. Moritz Seider. So this guy, German player, top 4 potential. I believe he was 80 overall when we took him. He's always been our best defenseman until this season when we picked up what's his name, Sam Girard, just to help him out a bit. But he's always been the top defenseman for us. So I think that kind of stunted his development because he didn't really get a chance to grow and learn. Even though he's had some really awesome seasons, like he hasn't had one season where he was under 10 goals as a defenseman. Now he's only hit 44 points, but he's like, his lowest goal total is 10, his highest is 18. So I mean, he doesn't have a great career plus minus, which kind of sucks, but shooting percentage is pretty freaking good. I think he's a great all-around defenseman for us, and he's an original. So we got Sam Girard, who we signed in the offseason. He's been with Colorado his whole career before that. Decent two-way, underrated offensive abilities. I basically just signed him because we needed the help in defense, and I figured he's kind of the underrated defenseman in the deep defense that Colorado has, because they got Cale Makar and Bowen Byram, and he's kind of the unsung other guy who's a bit older than both those guys. So we picked him up. He had a good season with us, 51 points, but a minus 22, which is brutal. Slater, he's one of the interesting ones because we drafted him in the 1st round, but he wasn't supposed to go until probably the 4th round. But if you look at his top 4 potential, I believe when we drafted him it was elite potential, but he was only like, I think he was like 60 something overall to start. Defensive defenseman, his offensive awareness, I think 70 is around where it's been this whole time. But when he was drafted, his defensive awareness was like 90, and it's gone up to 96 now. But his defensive awareness was so high already to start, and his speed, I believe, was like 80, 85, and now it's gone up to 88. But everything else, shot blocking was up, and like his passing and puck control was high to start, but 86 is obviously a lot higher than it started off at. But like he's not very good at anything else other than skating, defensive awareness, shot blocking, his puck skills. Everything else, his strength isn't even that good. Like he's a defensive defenseman, but he's not strong. He doesn't have a hard shot. He's got 0 offensive awareness. He's not aggressive at all. He doesn't have any acceleration. The only thing that's good that he's good at in the skating section is speed, but his ability to get to that speed is not good at all. So he's an interesting defenseman because, and I just kind of wanted to see how he would develop and if he would actually get any better in other categories or not. He is 24 now, and top 4 defenseman is his potential, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. We've also got Koryolev. So Slater, we drafted in the first year, our first draft. And then Koryolev, we drafted in this past draft, no, 2 drafts ago, 5th overall, and I believe he was supposed to go in the first round, but probably in the 20s, and so I got him in the 5th overall spot. He's a little bit better, but a similar story. When we drafted him, he was probably, I think, 75 overall, so not as bad as the other guy, Slater, but 75 overall. His puck skills still haven't really developed that much. His offensive awareness is a little better at 82, his defensive awareness is 87, and his defense in general is a lot better because his shot blocking and stick checking's in the 90s. His skating all around is 85 or better, which is so much better. And his aggressiveness, his physical ability is up there too. The only thing he's not that good at is fighting ability, but everything else is 88 or better. His shot is pretty much NHL average, which is good. It doesn't need to be that great. He's a defensive defenseman, so that's fine. And he's only 19 years old, so he still has a lot of room to grow. So I'm happy with this guy. Cal Foot, I believe we traded for him. Maybe we signed him. So he's played 2 seasons with us. So we traded for him last season from New Jersey. And then, yeah, this was his first full season with us. Solid top 6, top 40, I guess. I would probably consider him more of a top 6, bottom pairing D than a middle pair D, which is where he's been playing. He's got a good shot. He's super physical. His skating is average for the NHL. His defensive ability is above average. His puck skills are good, pretty average. His offensive awareness is about average for a defenseman. But I mean, solid. He's solid all around. And then we go to scratch. We got Kalen Addison, who's an interesting one because he's a super offensive-minded defenseman. So he's got 90 offensive awareness, 92 skating, like essentially 0 aggressiveness and full-on discipline. So he's barely touch a fly. He's got a good shot, but not accurate. He's got super good puck skills, and his defensive ability is about average. His awareness is good, but his shot blocking and stick checking are about average. So he's obviously more offensive minded, but like look at that minus 23. So either we have to find him a better partner to play with, or we just have to move on because he's not really putting up the points with that offensive ability. Let's see what his power play points. So like he's putting up. He had a good year with us before, 8 power play points, but now it's only 5 and 4 and 4. So like he's really not putting up the points that you would like. It doesn't make up for his lack of defensive ability, which is kind of what you want when you have an offensive-minded defenseman. Our goalies. So our goalies have been a real carousel because it's just goalies don't develop And especially in an environment like this where the team isn't that good, the goalies are having a hard time developing. We do have, I believe, sign this guy, Alnefelt, last summer. Or maybe I traded for him, I can't remember. But he was 84 when I traded for him. So I figured, okay, a solid starter who can help Haken, who's an elite potential goalie, who's now 24, and I'm hoping he can develop into an actual elite goalie, like a 85 plus overall goalie. But I still think in this environment it's going to be difficult. So we'll see. I might have to just sign or trade for a goalie, or just have two like starter type goalies in the, just to balance it out a bit. We can go to the AHL, see if there's anybody interesting to look at. So Kase, this guy's interesting because he was one of our top 6 forwards for a while, and then once he hit like 28, 29 is when he kind of dropped off. So he's an original, although he was with Philadelphia. Oh no, he was with the Tucson Roadrunners, I guess. But he was one of the originals. Played his first season with us in the second year. But he was in our system before that, so I believe he was on the 4th line and then the 3rd line, and then he developed into like a top 6 forward. So we had him in the top 6 for a couple of years, put up 60, 50, 44, and then that year where he had 44 points is when he started to drop in overall, and so I had to start dropping him down the lineup. And then he had this year, and it was like his overall dropped after this season, so I just put him in an AHL, and it looks like his overall's gone back up to an 81. But his offensive awareness and defensive awareness have really dropped off. They used to be like 86, 87. His puck skills are still right there. His shooting is okay. So I might give him another chance on the 4th line. Maybe, we'll see. We've got some prospect type players who just haven't really panned out. Parole used to be a 4th line for us, 4th liner, but he didn't really develop. He's still 79 overall, and he's been 79 overall for a little bit. I think he's better off in the AHL, so that's where we kept him. Connor Walchuk, we drafted him in 2021, so he's an original because we drafted him in our first draft. He did play. No, I don't think he didn't play any seasons with us. He's just always been in the AHL. I think that's where he's destined to be, is in the AHL. Nussbaumer, I think, is just with the Tucson Roadrunners when I started this franchise mode. Novak. I mean, he's got the offensive awareness and the defensive awareness, but that's about it. And some average puck skills too. But he just never really panned out. He's 25 now. So he never played with us at all either. On the defensive end, got another Addison who just doesn't have really the potential and hasn't really panned out anyways, but he does have really good puck skills and really good speed, but that's about it. Sosinov, he was actually a top 4 potential defenseman, but when we picked him up, I believe he was 24. He did play 2 seasons with us in the NHL, and then he just didn't really develop along with the rest of the team, so I had to send him down. But he's been a very solid defenseman in the AHL. Patrick Coleman, he's got the elite potential. He's still only 23, so he still has time. I don't know if that'll end up happening. Alto, top 4 potential. He's got the speed, so he might actually... He's got the speed and the shot. So that might actually end up working. He's got also pretty good defensive ability. Macias. Probably won't end up working out for him. He's young. He's 24 now, so time is ticking on him. Goalies, we got Nurminen. He's got the backup potential in Wallstedt, who was supposed to be like our essentially the Haken that we have now. He was supposed to be our guy. We had him at 21, 22, and he just never developed, which is probably entirely my fault because we had him in such a terrible environment. So that's that. So let's sim to the draft. Sim to the draft, see who wins the cup. Looks like it's Dallas, Vegas, and Carolina. Oh, Carolina won. Okay. Carolina won the cup. Alright, so we got 6th overall. Dallas moved up from... Jeez, Dallas got Florida's pick, and Florida had a bad year, obviously, and so Dallas somehow moved up to 1st overall. Jeez. That's nuts. Okay, let's sim right through here. Sim to draft day. We'll see if anybody retired. We got Patrick Kane retiring. Good riddance to him. Steven Stamkos retiring. Taylor Hall. Jeez. All these big names retiring. Pietrangelo was on Vancouver. Wow. Vancouver always seems to get the guys that were good at one point, but they're no longer good. The brand name guys after their brand names. Wow, Jason Zucker at 87. Wow. Yeah, nobody retired for us. Okay. We'll see if the coaching staff, any of those people retire. That sometimes happens. Yep, somebody retired. Just couldn't take it anymore. Seems to happen at least one of our coaches each year. And let's see. I think we'll go right through the draft normally. I'll try and pick a good player. that's supposed to go at this point. So let's sim to pick number 6. Oh wow, they're getting some pretty good players in the draft here. 82, 81, 81, 82, 78 overall. Hopefully it doesn't drop off at us. So we got a left wing sniper who supposedly supposed to go at 5th overall, but the other guys picked somebody else. I wonder if it was because he was 5'9". It says he's NHL ready. His weakness is his size, which is not a weakness. He's got magic hands. Playing in a WHL. So let's go for it. Look at that, 81 overall. Colorado shouldn't have skipped out on him. Let's see what the other guys' overalls are after us. Okay, so the left winger is down to 67 overall, so I think they might have missed on some other players then. Oh, maybe no, maybe it just drops off right there. It looks like it's dropping off. Oh, there's a 74 overall defenseman. So they missed out on him by picking those forwards. Yikes. Oh, and then there's also a 75 overall power forward. Interesting. Even a 71 overall is better than some of these other guys that were picked. Yikes. Bad drafting by those teams. Another 71. Wow. There's still players that are better than Detroit's player. That's crazy. There we go. Oh, there's an enforcer defenseman that was picked 18th overall. That's nuts. Alright, let's sim to pick number 36. Let's go with by potential first. So here we go. Elite defensive defenseman, right-handed defenseman. He plays in the SHL. Says he's 5 years away. Yikes. His weakness is his speed. That's an interesting player though. We might look at him later. Let's see if there's any gems. Let's go with scout rank. So this guy, the scout ranks this guy pretty high. This Gregory Finger. So it looks like our scouts don't care about size as much as other scouts do. And he's only 2 years away. Interesting. Let's go with him. Elite low at 67 overall. That's not bad. Let's sim to pick number 67. So like, why would I pick a guy with top 6 potential in like when there's elite guys and even a top 4 guy available? I think I'm just gonna go with this Erickson guy. Just to see. Okay, so 56 overall, but he's got the elite medium potential. So it might be similar to Slater. We'll see. Seem to pick 129. I just want accurate scouting. I care about that more than other stuff. It's just being accurate. Let's go for the goalie. We could trade him later if we need to. Fringe starter, that's okay. In the 5th round, that's not bad. Alright, let's filter by potential again. Let's see if there's any. So that Peltonen guy, he's considered a gem. So let's pick him. 50 overall, elite low. So he's definitely a project. But he is at 6 in the 6th round, so. And now our last pick of the draft, I think 7th round. Let's see, let's go with a scout pick. There's a right winger or this left winger. This guy's unknown, so it makes it a little more mysterious when we draft him. Look at this guy though, full-on starter potential, and it's fully accurate. But it's starter low potential. Let's go with the scouts pick. Bottom 6 low. That's fine. Let's sim the rest of the draft. I'm happy with that 1st rounder. 81 overall already, ready to jump into the lineup. Let's go to our contracts. Let's see who we gotta re-sign. Okay, so Marco Rossi's gone up to an 87 overall. That's good. That's a good sign. Sam Girard's gone up to an 87. That's good. Even though he's 30 years old, he's still going up. So we're gonna try and sign Rossi, even though it says he doesn't want to extend. Want an extension or whatever. Just give him what he wants because there's no cap. Anthony CEO doesn't want to re-sign, but I think we're going to try and re-sign him anyways. Just give him what he wants. And then we'll go to... Wow, Duclair's got 11 mil. Did I sign that contract? Wow. Kopaka. See, I don't know if I want to re-sign Kopaka. He didn't have that great of a year. But he's got a... Yeah, see, his shot isn't super accurate. But he's a good defensive player, and he's very fast. He can fit anywhere in the lineup. But he's just... I'm gonna hold off offering him a contract, but I might come back to him. So yeah, let's sign Moritz Cedar. He deserves a contract. He's been here since the start. Philip Schlappick we might end up trading. Just because I just think he's overstayed his welcome here. Cam Addison we'll probably keep. He might not get to play though, I don't know, we'll see. Wolf I want to keep because we drafted him. So I'll offer him some money to stay. Calfoot will probably end up keeping. Koryolev will keep. Morand. I don't think we're gonna keep Morand. Not having that great of a past few seasons. Here's Manning, a left winger. I mean, look at that. He's already got the offensive gifts. That's crazy. Look at this shooting, 91 across the board. His defense is okay. It's average for what you would need out of a top 6 forward. I don't know if he's gonna be a top 6 forward though. He might be in the bottom 6 to start. We'll see what he develops. If he develops over the summer, we'll see. Balsters will keep. Broberg we might end up trading away. Liam Kirk, oh look, he's gone up to an 80 overall. Good for him. I was not expecting him to go up at all. He might be in the AHL, but that's okay. I still want to keep him on the team, or on in the organization. Same thing for Kase. He probably won't play in the NHL, but he'll stay in the organization. Parole, I don't think we're gonna keep. Slater we'll keep, but I don't think he'll play in the NHL. Kelly, I don't think we're gonna keep. Just an AHL player. Matthew Joseph got worse, so we'll keep him, but he'll just play in the AHL. Just gonna release him. Cohen we'll keep. Let's see, Jas we're gonna let go. Janik we're gonna let go. Desnoyer we're gonna let go. Edler we're gonna keep. Not the defenseman Edler, but the forward prospect. Young we're gonna keep. We'll keep Macias, but I don't know if he'll end up playing. Same with Connor Walchuk, but he's already signed anyways. He still has a year left till we gotta sign him. This guy we're not gonna keep. Same for Zimmerman. Don't have space for him. Finger we don't have to worry about. Hart, Kasperitis we don't have space for. Dackel we don't have space for. Let's see what Ericsson's stuff is. Oh man, so he's kind of like Slater, except he doesn't even have the defensive awareness or the skating. He doesn't really excel at anything. His strength is his highest ability. His strength and shot blocking. But that's only 77 still, so it's a little underwhelming. That's okay. And so that's all of that. So let's just quickly go through centers. So we've got 3 NHL centers. We're gonna trade Schlappick, so we're only gonna have 2, so we'll have to sign some guys. Left wingers, we've got Duclair. We're gonna hopefully sign Athanasiou. We might sign Kopaka. hopefully sign Wolf. We still have Balsers, and we still have a rookie Manning. Just trying to think here. I think we might have to move Balsers. Then if Manning's gonna jump into the lineup, which he will, we'll probably have to move Balsers, who's declining. And then Kopaka, we'll see who resigns first before I try and sign Kopaka. We got Gerber still, and then after that we have nobody on right wing. So maybe we'll keep Kopaka just because we have guys who can play left or right side, like Wolf and Athanasia and Duclair. So that actually works. So let's make an offer to Kopaka right now. And then we'll go from there and fill some holes. Because yeah, our right side is super bare. Unless we move the guys on the left side to the right side, which we can do. So. And then defensemen. Gerard, Cedar, Addison, Foot, Koryolev. We're gonna trade Broberg and Slater. Or no, Slater's gonna play in the AHL. Slater, Addison, Cole. Okay, so we got our... Essentially, if these guys resign, including Slater, then they should... The AHLD should be good. We're gonna trade Broberg away, which means we'll have one spot open for an upgrade on defense, which we're gonna need to get at least an 83, 84 overall defenseman, probably a higher overall since we can afford it, because like there's no cap, salary cap. So we're gonna try and upgrade the defense. Alnefelt has dropped down to an 81 overall. That is not good. And Wallstedt has gone up to an 82. Interestingly enough. So I think Haken is going to be the important one to sign, as well as Petrel. I'll just give him whatever will get him to sign. And then Petrel. And then I don't know why Alnefelt has gone down so much. And somehow Wallstedt's gone up. Even though he had not that good of a season in the AHL. He still has deficiencies in like aggressiveness is only 77, but then he's like 89 and other stuff. And then he's only 79 in glove high, but then he's like 92 and 5-hole, 93 on breakaways. So he's a little all over the place. So I don't think I'm gonna re-sign Wallstedt even. And with Alnefelt, he just went down 3 points. So I don't see the point in signing him either. I'm just gonna try and revamp the goaltending situation fully. Okay, so quickly just go over the plan again. We're gonna trade Schlappick away just for a draft pick or something. And then we're also gonna trade away Broberg. We trade those two guys away. And then sign free agents. Let's go to coaching staff. See if anybody needs to be re-signed. Nope. Everyone's still signed for another year. Scouts, we'd have a bunch probably though. Yeah. Wish there's just like a re-sign all button. I mean, these scouts have been gold. We picked up some real gems out of the draft. So I'm happy to keep all these guys. Hopefully I have the money to spend on all of them too. Because the owner still gives me a cap on how much I can spend. Okay. We'll see what happens. Let's sim to the last day of the re-sign phase. Okay, so Manning signed, that's good. Kase doesn't want to sign. Matthew Joseph doesn't want to sign. Mutala doesn't want to sign. We've got our scouts re-signing. Okay, let's go see what we gotta do for players that didn't want to resign. Go to all expiring. So we've got 35 contracts out of a limit of 50. These guys are RFAs, so they don't, I can just make an offer to them. Goaltending. Everyone's signed. Okay. Yeah, Hacken accepted. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so Kase just really doesn't want to sign. Joseph really doesn't want to sign. Stefan Edler signed. Mutala signed. Young signed. Slater signed. Macias signed. So let's go take a quick look. And we also gotta trade those 2 players. So let's trade those guys first. Go on defense. We're gonna trade Broberg. And then we go at center. We're gonna trade Schlappick. I just don't think he's working out with this team. We've had him for a while, and it just hasn't, like, he's put up points, but it just hasn't, just doesn't have the whatever we need. He's always a minus player by a lot. So, and he's a center, which is one of the more important positions in the forward group. So let's see what other teams, looks like other teams want them. They only have 1 year left on my contract, so it can't be too big of a deal. Let's see. It seems like a fair trade. Okay. And we'll go to the free agency. Or sorry, no. We still gotta look. I still want to look at the lineup real quick. All right. So we're gonna have to sign some guys for the AHL as well. We need at least 2 centers for the NHL. Oh yeah, and I was gonna trade Balsers, I think. No, I wasn't, because these guys can play all on the right side as well. Wolf, Duclair, and Athanasio can all play on the right side. So essentially wingers, I just count. I need 8 wingers, essentially. And Balsers doesn't have to. He can play in the AHL if we need him to, if we find enough players to sign. So if we don't count Balsers, we have 5 plus 1 to 6 NHL wingers. So we need to sign 2 more, possibly 2 more. That is if you find somebody that's better than Balsers. If we don't, then we'll just keep Balsers, that's fine. Go on defense. We need to sign 1 defenseman. So we need 2 centers, 2 wingers, 1 defenseman, and 1 goalie for the NHL. And then after that, we'll take a look at the AHL. But that's not really as pressing of a matter, since we have some NHL players being pushed to the AHL this go around. So. Let's see, so we got Dylan Cozens, Sam Reinhart. Let's see how these, let's go by way of, oh look, this guy's a franchise player. Is he on RFA then? Yes. There's a bunch of RFAs right now. Geez, 61 goals, wow. But see, he only fits on the 4th line, so he's not really a fit for the team anyways. This guy only fits in the bottom 6. Which, I mean, that's okay that he only fits in the bottom 6 since we already have top 6 centers. But I prefer a player that fits on all lines if I can find one. Reinhardt fits on the 2nd line only. this guy only fits on the third line. This guy only fits on the second line, Peyton Krebs. He's a left winger. He's a playmaker though. Is he doing point? Yeah, he doesn't score a ton. Although he's got to know his shot isn't that good either, so. Joshua Hosang is also a playmaker, but he scores goals too. Says he's only a second line forward for some reason. And he fits in the top 6 forward lines, and he's a right wing / center, so he can play center, although his face-offs aren't that good. Okay, we'll come back to Hosang if we can't find anyone else. Let's go to centers. Where the heck is... Why is Hosang not a center? Oh, it's because he's not considered a center, I see. He's a winger first and center second. Okay, so let's look at centers first then, I guess. Reinhardt's scoring 41 last season. See, look, Anthony Beauvillier, he fits in the top 6, all the power play and all the penalty killing lines. He's a two-way forward. See, for centers, I might need a guy who will fit in the bottom 6. Because we already have our top 2 centers. Also, look at this, Kirby Dack, all forward lines, perfect. He's a power forward. Look at that. Well, I mean, hopefully he fits all the forward lines. Let's just keep looking real quick. Sorelli. So two-way forward, fits on the 4th line. Logan Brown fits on the 4th line. Who's the other guy that fit on the 4th line? Sorelli. So if we try and sign Doc. Whatever the hell he wants. Because we're spending cash today, folks. And then either Sorelli or what's that other guy? Logan Brown, who's also a power forward. Trash Kitty, how's it going? Thanks for the lurk. Are you having a good day / night? Did you watch any of the NWHL games today? So I think I'm gonna go with Logan Brown. I just want to take a look here. His face-offs aren't that good though. That might be a problem. Yeah, well, thanks for checking out the stream. I appreciate it. Right now it's not super super fancy, but I'm in the middle of putting a PC together. Right now I'm just going straight from the PlayStation to Twitch and then just on my laptop, but in the next month or so I should have a little bit of a more interesting stream to look at, and you'll get to see my face and all that stuff, so stay tuned for that. That'll be exciting. But no, thank you for stopping by and taking a look at this stream. It's kind of weird what happened with the Connecticut Whalers. They just dropped out. Probably COVID related, but still, like, all the teams have been playing each other, so you'd think all the teams should just stop playing if they all have been in contact with each other. Okay, so we're gonna sign. Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Yeah, I have a pretty decent headset that I put a little bit of money into to make it sound good. Well, it's good to know that it sounds good. Sometimes I can't tell from on this side. Yeah, it's not official that it's COVID related, but they just dropped out of the game with the Minnesota, I believe. So Minnesota just moves on, and I think they play Boston because Boston won. So it's a kind of a weird situation, but hopefully everything's okay. So yeah, let's go and sign Sorelli. I think he'll be a better guy to be in the. Even though he's like should be a top 6 forward, we're just gonna load this team up and try and get a dub before I move on into a different franchise, because we're almost a decade in now. So I know it is so weird in the NHL too. They've got teams games being postponed like the day of, and then like Washington had their whole situation where like all their star players missed like a bunch of games because they were all in COVID protocol. Dallas missed a big chunk of the start of the season because of that, and then yeah, it's just weird. It's like this is happening so often. They should just say, you know what, let's stop everything. This isn't safe. Because I mean, all those players that are in COVID protocol, if they actually ended up having COVID, then like their lives later on are gonna like take a hit. Like their health isn't gonna be good later. Like this isn't oh we're good now, so it's not gonna have a long-term effect, because like COVID does have a long-term effect as far as we know, because it damages the lungs and stuff. So, and as an athlete you need your lungs, obviously. So it's kind of unfortunate that it's happening for the sake of entertainment, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. To quote all athletes that don't want to say stuff, it is what it is. All right, so sign. Oh, I didn't want to go there. Okay, let's go back to the free agents. We gotta sign our wingers now. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is hockey culture itself is like, it doesn't make you feel like you should speak up, so I'm sure there's players that don't want to. But I mean, on the silver lining side of it, women's hockey is getting a huge platform right now. It is kind of toxic, you're right, it is kind of toxic. But if we all get out of this okay, women's hockey is gonna come out of it in a better place, which is good, because like I enjoy watching it. And it was kind of sucked before that we kind of had to wait until the Olympics to watch it, because they don't really play it on TV otherwise. So, but no, I'm happy. I love that it's on Twitch, and I hope it looks like they might possibly get a TV deal, because they're playing the highlights on Sportsnet and TSN. So I mean, like, if you're gonna play the highlights, then maybe just get the rights to it. But I enjoy having it on Twitch, because I'm on Twitch all the time anyways, so it's cool. I love it. Yeah, the chatting part is really cool too. You can't really do that on television, so I fully agree with that. And Twitch, I mean, if they stay on Twitch for a while, they're already a huge account, so you can make money on Twitch. So if they stay on Twitch, then the whole chat thing would be, I mean, I could see it getting out of hand, but I could also see them having multiple accounts, because I think they might have 2 accounts already, but either way I could see them having multiple accounts so that you can have different games playing at the same time, and then so your chats are kind of watered down a bit. But no, it's really a unique situation for the fans, for sure, because we can kind of chat together and watch and all that kind of stuff, so it's cool. Okay, so wingers, I think I'm gonna go with Hosang as one of our wingers. Just want to quickly see, he fits in the top 6, so I think that's gonna work. Oh man, he wants 11 mil. Jeez. That's fine. I mean, we're not on a budget here, so let's just give him 12 mil. And then we'll go back to, let's see. Yeah, the Zamboni. Yeah, I love that. I love that that kind of developed just out of nowhere, at least for me, because I didn't start watching right away, but when I kind of jumped in and started watching it on Twitch here, it just, all of a sudden the Zamboni stuff started happening. I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's see here. So he fits in the bottom 6, but he's definitely not a bottom 6 player. Well, that guy doesn't even fit in the lineup at all. Neither does this guy. Raphael Rollings. Okay, this guy seems to fit. Hopefully he's not an RFA though. He is an RFA. But he only wants 2 mil, so if we overpay a little bit, we might not have to give up too much. Just a second round, that's fine. We'll see if he accepts that. Oh, thank you so much, Crash Kitty, and thank you for coming to the stream once again. I hope you have a great night, and hope to hopefully talk to you again soon. And we'll enjoy the games whenever they come back on Twitch. I don't know if there's any games tomorrow, but I'll keep an eye out, and yeah, have a good night. Talk to you later. Okay, we'll go to defense now. I'm trying to remember if I need a righty or a lefty. I'm pretty sure we're full on righty, if I can remember correctly. Or maybe we're not. No, we're not. So it's gonna be righty probably. Shishkinov is probably an RFA, so yeah, these guys are all off the table. Maybe Soderstrom? Yeah, and it says he fits on D pairing number 1. It's minus 22 for some reason. 5'11", that's fine. Size doesn't matter as much as long as he has the skill. I think we're just gonna sign him. We'll see. Adam Fox is a little older, but like Soderstrom's right in his prime years right now, so Vancouver's also interested, so let's offer him a bunch to make sure he signs with us. Let's make it a full mil more. There we go. Alright, and then goaltending. See, look, like the best goalies available are lower overall. And I think it's because I have the scoring set to high, which then in turn brings the goalie overall down. Because the goalies aren't playing as well technically because they're letting in more goals than normal. Because I have the scoring on high. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll try and sign Samsonov here to a 1-year deal, but I'll like bring up his salary a bunch so that he accepts it. And then we'll go from there. We'll see if everyone signs that's supposed to sign. This is the RFA guy that I did an offer sheet for. Just gotta wait to see if they match it or not. Kirby Doc signed. We got Sorelli signed. Samsonov signed, so we got our goalie. Hosang signed, so we got one of our wingers. Soderstrom signed, so we got our defenseman. Just waiting on that other winger. Oh, they did match my offer sheet, so I gotta sign another winger. So let's go. Wow, Hosang had 92 points last year. That's nuts. Okay, let's go to proposed trade. That's the best, for me, that's the best way to view all your players. The cleanest way to look at it. I wish you could see edit lines during the off season. It's kind of annoying that you can't. Anyways, so we go here. So we got Texier, Rossi, Sorelli, and Doc as our centers. We're gonna have to add some AHL centers, which is fine. We'll do that. Our left wingers, our wingers, let's say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if we don't count Balsers, or if we do count Balsers, we got 8, but if we don't, then we got 7, and we need one more. So let's just see. So Hosang plays on the right side. Gerber plays on the right side. And one of these guys plays on the right side. Then we've got Kopaka and one of these guys. And then Manning on the left side. And yeah, I guess one of these guys can also play. 2 of these guys, sorry, can play on the right side if we need. So essentially we need a right or left winger, doesn't really matter. To play in the bottom 6. And then for defense, I'm pretty sure we're good. Goalies, we are good as well. So it's just that one winger we got to get, and then we also have to sign some forwards for the AHL. So we go to forwards. We've got, so Liam Kirk will play in the AHL. So essentially we need 3 players, and I think most of them we need centers. We don't have, the only center we have is Cohen, I believe. Yeah. So we need 3 centers for the AHL. Plus a left or right winger for the NHL in the bottom 6. And that should fill out our roster. Go to free agents. Go to forwards. Just go by somebody that will fit in the bottom 6, basically. Okay, so Logan Brown, who's only a center, so I don't need a center anymore. Oh, here we go, Mateos. He's a right winger slash center. He's 82 overall. Third checking line forward, which is fine. His skating isn't the greatest, but it's okay. It's not too bad for the fourth line. He's super aggressive, which is perfect for the fourth line. His defensive awareness is really good too. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get Stelio Mateos. Or Stelio. Stelio or Stelio? Who was he drafted by? Carolina in 2017. Okay. Interesting. Just offer him a little bit more than he is asking, just to make sure he signs. And then we're gonna go to centers and two-way so that we can look at AHL forwards. Kevin Hayes is still here, hey? Let's just sign him for shits and giggles, I guess. To play in the AHL. Ryan Johansson. It's gonna be a skilled AHL team. Akil Thomas. Let's sign Akil Thomas. I feel like he... I mean, what is he? He's gonna be 21 in real life, I think. So I mean, he still has... He's drafted by LA, so he's gonna be a good player, I think. So I don't think his overall really is what he's gonna end up being. So let's sign Akil Thomas. And then is this Tyler? No, it's Tag Bertuzzi. Okay. Yeah, let's sign Tag Bertuzzi, why not? And then if all those guys re-sign, or if they sign with us, then that should pretty much round out the roster. Yep, and they did. There we go. Alright. So let's sim all the way up to the start of the next season. Hopefully nobody gets worse over the summer. That's always a pain in the ass. Oh, you know what I gotta do? I gotta change the trade block so I don't keep getting these trade offers. I hate that the computer always does that. Always edits your trade block so that you're getting dumb alerts from trade offers that other teams are making based off your trade block that the computer set without you even okaying it. Alright, so let's go back to simming. let's go 15 days ahead. It's usually around that time when the preseason will start. Okay. Let's take a look at the lines. See who got worse, who got better. Okay, so Duclair got worse by a couple points. He's in his 30s. Athanasiou got worse by 1 point. Texier is still good. Gerber's still good. Rossi's still better. Hosang, I think... Did he go up? I think he went up. Maybe he went down. I don't know. I can't remember. Well, Manning did not get better. I thought he was going to. Guess that's why the lines are the way they are. Ideally, I mean, the chemistry is pretty good. Ideally, we have Rossi on the center, though. I mean, we could put Rossi at first line center, but that doesn't, let's see. It says Duclair's a third line scoring forward now, which sucks, but... So his best line, his best spot in the lineup is the second line. Rossi's is the second line. Hosang's is the second or the fourth line. Gerber's is the first line. Texier's is the first line. Athanasiou's is also the second line. So that's why it's only +1. Kopaka's is the first line. So we put Doc on the fourth line, and Wolf on the third line. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's see, we gotta also match with player types too, right? So, two-way forward with a two-way forward with a sniper. A playmaker with a playmaker with a sniper. We switch Hosang and Kopaka? See, doing that makes the first line chemistry go up, but also makes the second line chemistry go down. Wolf's a playmaker. That brings it up, but not enough. plays best with a power forward? Oh, there you go. +3. Oh. I really don't want to put Texie on the fourth line. So Athens is a playmaker. We're gonna keep Texie on the first line. He doesn't need to be on anything other than on the first line. Mateus is a two-way forward. Putting a sniper there helps for sure. Snipers, power forward, playmaker. Sniper, playmaker, playmaker. Sniper, two-way forward, playmaker. We got two-way forward, two-way forward, two-way forward. See, I don't see how that's bad. I guess having a power forward on the fourth line is better than the third line? I don't know. What if I switched to Duclair and Doc? Nope. Oof, that brings it up quite a bit. Just trying to create the best chemistry this team could have, and like sadly putting Dak on the first line and Rossi on the second line like that. Oh, that might work. I could live with that, I think. +3, top 6 chemistry. It's Kopak. No, I think that's... That doesn't really change it at all. Oh, look at Koryolev. He developed into an 84. Wow. Oh, see, I thought Koryolev was a lefty. I thought we had Soderstrom, Cedar, and Foot, and I completely forgot about Addison and Koryolev, who are also right-handed. So let's see where everyone fits best. So Gerard fits best on the first. Soderstrom fits best on the first. Addison also fits best on the first. Cedar fits the best on the whole team on the first. So we do that. That could work though. Go to goalies. Okay, so Samsonov stayed at an 80, or was he an 86? I can't remember. My memory is terrible. Either way, he's an 85. Haken went up to an 83, so that's good. Whoa, his puck playing frequency is so bad. His endurance isn't quite there yet to be his starting goalie, even though he's 83. So it's good that he's a backup still. I think one more year of being a backup will be good for him. Having Samsonov there. And then we also have Kevinese and Balsers who are going to be sent to the AHL. So let's go to roster moves. Send Hayes and Balsers down. And then we'll take a look at the AHL team as well. See, Slater didn't even develop over the summer. I don't think anybody really did. What are our goalies? Petrell's in 78 overall. Wow. He's really good at breakaways and 5-hole. He's not super good at poise, poke checking, or puck playing. And he's not that great at aggressiveness, so he still needs some seasoning in the AHL for sure. Stick high isn't that good either. Or stick low. His stick side is terrible, so he really needs some seasoning. And Nurminen didn't, I don't think, really developed at all either. Unfortunately, that's okay. He's got time in the AHL. Let's go see. Coaching staff. So we're missing a goalie coach in the AHL, which is okay. I don't really care too much about that. Alright, let's sim through the preseason. Get that out of the way. I don't know why people are offering me trades right now. It's the start of the season, man. Leave me alone. I'm happy with these people, these players that I have. Though we're losing for some reason. But it's the preseason, not a big deal. Ooh, a 10-3 loss, wow. What a terrible preseason we've had. And I think I'm gonna sim through the first month. And then that'll be the end. Oh, hey Fuzz, how's it going, buddy? No, the Misfits have not won the cup yet. We just before the start of this season, we just went through a season where they regressed a little bit, and so we're in the 2028-2029 season, which is 9 years. So I'm kind of like contemplating. I don't want to end it, but this is kind of what I did for the lineup. I went into free agency and totally just like stacked the lineup. This guy we drafted, so he's still here. Texier is still here. Kopak is still here. Wolf is still here. We drafted him. Gerber is still here. We drafted him. But and Rossi we got from the beginning too. But we added guys like Dak and Sorelli and Ho-Sang and Athanasiou and Duclair. And then on defense, we still have Cedar, and we drafted Koryolev, but then we picked up guys like Foote and Addison and Gerard and Soderstrom. So the team is a little more stacked. Yeah, Tex is still here. Tex isn't going anywhere. He's gonna be here till the very end. And when I say end it, I'm not gonna like delete it or anything. I think I might just take a break. But I want to try and win the cup one last time before I take a break from it. And I also upgraded our goalies. So this guy we drafted, this guy we signed over the summer. So the team is definitely more stacked than recent years. We've got like first line players like Texier playing on the third line. Our chemistry is way better if you look on the right side. All the +3s and the +1 and the yellow and the bottom one. That's the best our team's chemistry has been. And then on defense, it's pretty much the same thing too. So we're going for it. I'm not gonna be able to finish it this tonight, but I'll do another one either tomorrow or the day after. And that'll be probably the final one. Hopefully we win the cup. Yeah, no, I agree, Fuzz. I definitely need a breather from this one. I might start a new one. I have some ideas. I might start a new one, but I definitely won't save over this one. I'm gonna keep it because I want to write, like you said, I think a few streams ago, to be a good idea to write everything down to keep track, and then I'll when I get a camera, I'll post it up so we can take a look at what the team did in its history and all that stuff. I think that'll be cool. So definitely gonna keep this save for sure, and re-look at it later. But yeah, so I just kind of went crazy and just signed a bunch of players and upgraded the team without following the rules. But that's okay. We gave them almost a decade to figure it out, so So yeah, we just simmed through this preseason, and I'm just about to end the stream. So thank you for jumping in, Fuzz, but sadly, I'm just about to go to bed. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else to do, actually. You know what I want to quickly look at is the record book before I go. I've been taking a look at this recently, so let's see. Yeah, thanks for coming, Fuzz. Good to talk to you and stuff. Wow, so Joel Thornton passed, and so did Patrick Marleau, passed the all-time games played. Henrik Lundqvist passed Marty Brodeur. Ovechkin passed most goals, so did Malkin and Kovalchuk. Wow. By a lot. That's crazy. Because right now, Ovechkin is like, in real life, he's like, he's not even at 700 goals, I don't think. Or no, he's in the early 700s. And Gretzky was number 1 with 894. So Ovi and Malkin and Kovalchuk did a lot between now and then. We go to most points. Gretzky's still there with most points, but Ovi is up there in 4th place now. That's crazy. And obviously most assists. Joe Thornton is in 3rd though. Interesting. Most wins, Brodeur is still up there, but Henrik Lundqvist is number 2. Most shutouts, nobody's even close. Most 50 goal seasons, Ovi is up there, number 1 now. I believe 9 was the first with Mike Bossy and Wayne Gretzky. I think Ovi had 9 as well. Or does have 9 in real life, so he scored 2 more 50 goal seasons. Connor McDavid is number 3 in 100-point seasons. Wow. It's tied for 2nd, actually. Wow. Let's see if we go to season. So nobody's broke the most games played by a goalie. Nobody's broken the most goals in a season. I don't think any of these are ever going to be broken, to be honest. You're 100% correct, Fuzz, because even in a hockey sim, when I have the scoring on high and the shots on high, still I'm a decade in and still nobody has passed Gretzky. And I mean, it's only a decade, so there could be a player that was drafted somewhere along the line that will eventually break them, because they still have to play a full career to pass him. But currently, guys like Ovechkin and Crosby and stuff haven't even began to pass him. And like, we saw Ovi and some other players in there for the careers points, but if you look at most goals in the season, nobody's even there in the top 5. You look at the years there. 1990 is the most recent, which is a long time ago now. The most assists in a season, Wayne Gretzky has the top 5 locked up. Most points, Wayne Gretzky has all of them except for the last one there. Nobody recently is in there with most shutouts. Braden Holtby in 2015. Yeah, so that's not even recent because we started this in 2020. So nobody's done anything for goalie wins either. Yeah, so What about rookies? Any rookies that did anything? Okay, so look, Clayton Ryder, number 2. Most goals by a rookie. He's still only second because Timo Solani in 1992 scored 76 goals. That's insane. We go to assists. Nobody recent. Matthew Barzal did, but that was in real life 4 years ago. Most points by a rookie. Still, like, this Clayton Ryder guy over here didn't even get close to the most points, so he must have just had a lot of goals, but didn't get a lot of assists, so he's not up there with most points, unless he's like 1 or 2 points behind Crosby there. Wonder if I can. No, I can't look at the top 10. But yeah, the most recent right there, Crosby and Ovechkin in 05. Most wins, we've got nobody. Most shutouts, nobody. And this is all by rookies too. So we've got a guy named Tiny Thompson from 1928 still there in the top 3. So okay, so let's go to the Ukraine Baltic Misfits and look at what their what's happening here. Did it like screw up for a second? What happened? Okay, let's go to record book. Let's try that again. I don't know what was happening there. All right, let's go to Ukraine. Career. Okay, there we go. So most points in his career, in their careers, Texier has it because he's been here since the beginning, with 610 points in 8 seasons. So he also has the most seasons played. Texier's got the most assists, the most games played, so he's got 656 games played on this franchise and 610 points. So his career with the Baltic Misfits, he's only about 46 points away from being a point per game, that is really good. Penalty minutes, he even leads in penalty minutes. So here's the funny thing about this one. Currently there's nobody on the team that has any shutouts. And that's because we go through such a carousel. Yeah, new Texier arena coming soon. With his face all over it. He's the franchise, he's the Gretzky of this team. But yeah, we don't have a goalie who's had a shutout currently. If you go over to all time, Kivlinix had 3 in his career for us, but he's moved on since. Most wins currently was Haken, because we did some rebuilding and moved our goalies, so the only current goalie we have that's played for us is Haken. Wallstedt had 60 wins for us, and that was over, I think, 2 or 3 seasons. Most goals is Texier on both all-time and current. But also, if you look at all-time, Moritz Seider, so he's played just as many games as Texier because they're both originals. Seasons as well. Rossi's an original as well, so he's played 8 seasons. So is Seider. So they're in some of these they're tied. They just put Texier up there. So let's go to season. The best season, the games played is a dumb one because they've all played 82 games. We don't have a goalie currently that had a shutout. Most penalty minutes in the past season was Athanasiou, 74. That's a lot of penalty minutes in a season, considering they play 82 games. Texie had 85 points, and he's pretty much kept his point totals pretty much around 85 each season. I think he was like 85, and then 82, and then 83, and then I think this past season he had 81, so he's pretty much super consistent. Assists 57, that's pretty good. Haken only had 7 wins as a backup last year. And then you look at all time, we had Kivlenix had 2 shutouts in one season. That's the most we've ever had a goalie with shutouts. Athanasiou had 74 penalty minutes. That's the most this past season. The most goals, we had Nazem Kadri scored 39 goals one year. Duclair scored 34 this past year, and that's the most. The most points was still Texie with 85. Most assists, Texie with 57. And the most wins one season was Wallstedt, who did the season before. But then for some reason, after he got those 26 wins as like a sophomore goalie, his overall went down. So that didn't really make sense to me. He was on track to become like a starter, and then he regressed for some reason. So I don't know what happened there. We can look at rookies. We don't have any current rookies on the team, but Moritz Seider has the most assists in this franchise for rookies. For a rookie, Kivlenix has the most shutouts. Gerber has the most goals as a rookie. Stuart Skinner has the most wins as a goalie rookie. And Gerber again has the most points as a rookie. So Gerber's a good player now. And then most in a game saves, that's a lot of saves, 54. Most assists, most points, most goals. Huh, interesting. Some interesting stats to look at. Nazem Kadri, the one season we had him, he was so good. He was on the third line and he was playing like a top, like a first line center. I think he had like 30 or almost 40 goals, and that's like 40 goals as a elite player. So, and then he retired because he was like 36 or something, and then he retired after one season. So anyways, well, thanks for coming, Fuzz. It's good to have you for the short amount of time we did have you, but it's always good to have you here in the streams. But I'm gonna head out now, so I'll save it here, and then we'll start it up again at some point in the next couple of days. Hopefully win the cup. Huge shout out to Fuzz for jumping in. A huge shout out to Crash Kitty for jumping in earlier. Thank you. And then always remember, everyone, that it's Black History Month, so do some research if you haven't. Learn about Black history, and obviously it's a month for Black history, but learn about Black history, learn about racism and all that all year round, 24/7. It's always this month is mostly just a reminder, but it's all year round, so make sure you do that. And I hope all of you have a good night, a good day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Have a good one.